Hello all! How y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to Illuminate the Oracle. Hopefully y'all doing scrumptious, fabulous wherever you are. And I'm praying that y'all setting for the proper manifestations for yourself as you see it for yourself. Um, Thank you for all you do around here, boo-boos. Thank you for your love, your support. Thank you for your thanks, your super thanks, your donations. Also, thank you just for liking the video, sending a comment. That all helps this growing channel continue to grow. Um, Woo! So I think I don't. This is gonna be collective reading for all signs, darling. Whether it's a love reading, a heart or soul reading, we'll see. It could be a soul read. Um, I'm feeling like the energy is like they may misunderstand you now. That's probably intended. That's probably on purpose. It's probably yeah, destiny, right? People may misunderstand you, but they'll see. They won't misunderstand you for long. It's what it feels like to me. We're also approaching a holiday season, and sometimes that can be a tricky, hard time for people. Oftentimes, because we're not understanding that it's also like energy vamp season around the holiday times. And so we should beware. We shouldn't, always open ourselves up as wide as we'd like to during the holidays, and maybe we'll feel a little bit better about the holidays. Happy holidays. As I've gotten not even older, but more awakened to myself, I've realized that I've gone a lot of years in holidays always being really excited about them, but it always kind of crushing me all about by the end of it. And I think that's probably because when it comes to star season, the holidays, it can be it's bloodsucker season, right? Not bloodsucker season, energy sucker season, right? During harvest season, people be harvesting, but it ain't the food they be harvesting, it be the energy they be harvesting. So definitely be wary of that and follow your own guide there, When it comes to the holidays and family, there are always people that you encounter that you meet or you re-meet, you reacquaint yourself with them, and you feel boosted, you feel excited. Give them your energy, okay? Give them some sort of appreciation. Give those people the kind of appreciation, because those people are the ones that entire room of people are eating off of their energy, because they're lit like that. Usually, probably find those people like in the back somewhere, maybe like in the back of the house doing what they do. Whatever they do, they're conserving and protecting their own energy in the ways that they see fit. And so you may have to do that for yourself as well. Just to guard your energy, because, like I said, there's some people that you encounter and you feel boosted with, and then there are some people that you encounter and you feel depleted with. And there ain't nothing like the holidays to show you what that's about and what's what and who's what. And it's, the era of awareness. And, just energy is energy. You can't hide, it doesn't lie. It is what it is. So definitely be cautious and take care of yourself. Make these holidays fun for yourself. Look at this. Make it fun for yourself, darling. Even if you have to put some space in between, okay? Dave Matthews Band, The Space Between. Look at this. Set boundaries. That's what I feel like the energy is for this read. This card says, claim your power and know your value today. Okay, so let's go into this prayer. Whew. Father God, Mother Divine, Archangel Michael, please cover me and my collective as we receive these messages today. We only seek messages of your highest vibration, messages that you deem for us to receive. Any ill will, evil energy sent our way, kindly block or turn energy back to where it came from, battle tighten their own delight so they never harm anyone again. Amen. So, y'all know on this channel, I like to talk about Disney princesses a lot because, like a lot of y'all, I grew up with them. And I just, as a gay boy that I am, I just really just saw so much in them, obviously. And so I like to bring them up a lot on this channel. Not necessarily for the sake of talking about princesses, but you know, ain't nothing wrong with talking about some fantasy princesses, especially ones of my childhood. But I find myself more so talking about the princesses that weren't necessarily my childhood. Ones that weren't, I wasn't necessarily connected to as a child because they weren't of my childhood. They're some of the first. And so sometimes when you have the privilege of being the first of something, sometimes you can be misunderstood, or maybe even sometimes people forget how things started or how things came to be. Sometimes you get lost in the story. But the thing is, like, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Just let it go and let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Beatles, um, let it be. Because things will come very clear for people to see. I feel like Snow White. There's that movie's coming out with Snow White, and they're gonna fuck it up. Hollywood's gonna fuck it up again. Okay, they're gonna fuck up another princess tale, darling. But the thing is, they only fuck it up because they misunderstand it. They don't understand the beauty that lies there in the simplicity. Sometimes in this culture, people rag on basics. Oh, that's basic. Oh, that's a basic bitch. Oh, that's basic. That's basic. But we need the basics. The basics are beautiful and oftentimes preferred. Basics are like foundation. Just like when you come together with like an outfit, you need like usually like a basics are the things that ground an outfit or make things, you know, come together more easily. And only with those basics can you add specification, the beauty of detail. Um, I say that to say that people ignore the beauty about that original, not original, I like the original Disney classic, okay? Because it's so old. I think Snow White was the first Disney princess, and it came out in the 20s and 30s. And so I think there's a lot of misinterpretation in a long time, but she still remains a divine feminine story. In that, in all the princess stories, aren't they really about romance and love last? Literally. Because those stories are mostly about the hero's journey. Um, a, they're about watching these characters go through spiritual awakenings, watching these characters follow their own intuition. Y'all think that these princesses are talking to mice and birds and dishes and crabs, but they're talking to their spiritual team. It's like it doesn't matter what they place in that picture for the audience, it's their spiritual team. And so in that case, these Disney princess movies are so spiritual. So people don't understand it. People don't understand what's really there in the layers. Snow White, the story starts off, the girl, the place in which she called home, and so many, there's a linear, there's a line in a lot of the Disney princesses of the same story. And that's how you know it's a spiritual story inherently. Because the story starts off with Snow White, the home in which she grew up in, the home in which she knew, the only home in which she knew, is no longer safe for her. Maybe the home in which she grew is no longer safe for her. And so what does she have to do? She has to get up out of there quick because her life is at stake. And so she could have just ignored her intuition, ignored her inner voice, allowed people around her to be like, oh, you crazy girl, this is safe. Yo, stepmama love you, girl. You know, she could have allowed herself to deny herself her own intuition. But instead, she remained obedient and followed it all the way into the forest. That could sound crazy to anybody. You ran into the forest, darling? But that is in the arms of Mother Nature, darling. And there in which she was protected. And there in which she was put on her path. And there in which along the way, because she was obedient, she came into contact with all these different, not these, all these different things, these things that were guided to help protect her. She realized that in some way, internally, she got to that place of refuge and decided, look, even though I'm on the run and hiding, I can provide some much needed touches here in this household. She stumbled onto this house that was available for her but was messy. It was missing a certain kind of touch. Her divine feminine touches was exactly what that environment needed. So despite, that's a divine feminine story right there. It's like, despite the fact of what she's going through, she can't help but figure out how she can still provide to a situation even in her time of need. And so the situation kept giving back to her. She cleaned up that house and cooked up some food and made it a home. It was just a house before she got there. But her divine feminine energy made something a home. And it was very grateful. And those dwarves, those masculine energies that mined those diamonds, was very appreciative for her and helped and guided and protected her and led her on her path. It's a beautiful fucking story. But have Hollywood do it and they'd be like, this is not interesting enough. This is like dated. This is like, they like to make feminine energy very masculine because they don't really respect femininity. But they will. They will. Be present. Something is happening. Find clarity in the moment. So if there is anything that's causing confusion to you, you already know what to do. Okay? Don't be too far off in the past. Don't be too far off in the future. Be very present. I feel like there's something that you need to see, or there's something that you've been seeing. I feel like y'all are evolving and elevating. For some of y'all, that's how you know you're evolving. If this path has been a bit lonely for some, right? You may have had to travel this journey alone, because that's how it is spiritually. It's not a group project; it's a solo mission. Okay. 3 could be significant. Akashic Stargate, align with your purpose. Y'all are aligned with your purpose, so y'all have elevated significantly. And so now that you've aligned yourself significantly, I was just talking about Snow White, because she allowed herself to be obedient to go down a journey. Since she went down that journey, and only because she went down that journey, opportunities presented itself that she could see. Same thing with Cinderella. When that fairy godmother came up to her and was like, okay, Cindy, you only got until midnight to be seen, and you need to get out of there, because if you don't get out of there, everything you have on is going to turn into mushrooms. You're going to be bucket naked in the middle of the dance floor. Girl, you better get out of there, at the time in which I specify. And she did. She was obedient, because, and Cinderella could have complained. She could have been like, oh, fairy godmother, but I never get to go out. I just stay in that basement all the time, in the attic all the time. This is the one and only time I get to go out. Why can't I have the whole night? Can you imagine getting a blessing and then trying to reassess the blessing that you get? But luckily, Cinderella had enough wisdom and love within herself and appreciation that she didn't double think. She didn't try to reassess the blessing that she received. She said, okay. Because the fairy godmother knew something that maybe Cinderella didn't know. She knew that Cinderella didn't need a whole night to leave an impression like maybe some of these other girls, okay? Also, although I think it's an energy like Cinderella needs, or any kind of star seed, or anybody that has that it factor, all they need is just to be seen. And so guess what? Fairy godmother, her spiritual team. I say fairy godmother, right? But what I say, these are just your spiritual team. It don't matter if it's a fairy godmother, a mice, a dish. That's all these Disney movies are showing to y'all. This is a character that's really developed in their inner world, and they're really connected spiritually, and so they're guided. Those Disney princess stories are stories of people that are guided, not of people, right? Because they're a fantasy. But what are these characters about? What are they really saying? What's really there? And so, yes, it was true. All they needed were just one look, and I was in love with you. That's all that prince needed to know. Wait, who's that girl? I need to find that girl. Sometimes you don't need a whole night. Sometimes you need to just be obedient, follow the directions of your team, and then doors open. So now that you are aligned to your purpose, y'all could be at a crossroads right now. But no, as long as you keep moving to the path that feels like it's aligned to where you're going, that there is no wrong path. I think to go backwards in time or to stay in something that you know is worn out is welcome. I feel like y'all already look at that rainbow. It's something y'all know to be true. That rainbow is also like God's promise, getting through storms, emerald tablet activation, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy. So that's transforming something from one state to another. I feel like y'all took a lot of conscious manifesting. Y'all, this conscious manifesting. So that's switching someone's thinking, you right? Realizing that you can't manifest if your energy's not right. Well, you're gonna manifest either way. But where we lay our mind dictates how that pops, how that's gonna come out. Because the thing is that when we feel fear, when we feel doubt, that is like a flavor. It's like a seasoning to our pot of manifestation. And look, those seasonings, it's like poison, right? It's like putting like I don't know, any kind of poison that you know in your own dish, in your own food. And look, no judgment. I've poisoned up my body quite a bit in this lifetime thus far. I used to be a heavy tobacco smoker, multiple times within a break. I used to, at my very end, I was clearing a pack a day. I even there was a period of time where I was even entertaining casual encounters, right, with people, sexual encounters with people, especially, particularly when I first became an adult, because that was sort of the training that I received. That if you're a fella, then go ahead and get your whistle wet, darling. But if you're it's that same kind of masculine training is kind of that. It's the same kind of training that sow your seeds, right? That so many people get trained with. That's also a toxic education, right? Because that is muddying your pool. We all got this incorrect education that our physical sex, or the physical, the sex axis is physical, right? When it's nothing but just physical. It's everything but just physical. Um, and so that's just a part of the education. I feel like, whatever ways in which y'all have transformed, y'all ain't doing things the way you used to do. And so maybe that got y'all walking along, and that's fine, right? I walk alone, like it is what it is. You came into this world alone, you'll leave it alone too. So the worst thing you can do is allow someone to drive for you. Woo! Don't let nobody drive you over the edge. Flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. Means like get lost in your own intuition, get lost in what feels right for you. Music can be significant. Some of y'all needs to dance, move around. Um, I feel like what's coming through for y'all, yeah, become aware. Be present and become aware. There's a lot that y'all need to focus on right now. That's right in your vicinity. That you're becoming. Listen to the wisdom of the body. What did I just say? Just dance. Um, and I am presence. What is happening here? Present and presence. It's something about your guys' presence too that feels real lit. Let's clarify real quick. Clarify, be present for the collective real quick. Find clarity in the moment. Okay. Endless cycles 2323. Charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive circumstances. There's some truth that you're resistant to accept over and over again until you're tired or restrained beyond depression. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Life is about passion. Then make a change. The world around you follows. So I feel like your present world is changing. You're putting an end to some endless cycles, okay? It could even be evolving people, places, and things. And a lot of times, endless cycles do show up around holiday season, darling. We also got perseverance, a change of perspective. Y'all could be seeing 7777 right now. There is a need for a change of perspective on whatever has taken over you now. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within. So do not stop where you're going. Okay? I don't even need to clarify all this. Don't even stop where you're going. That's it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Till next time.